No, I paid 17. I paid 17,000 cash. How was it a down payment? It's a down payment. Did you tell me it was a down payment? You never told me it was a down payment. You never told me. I gave you 17K cash to the car. I got messages on Facebook of you saying that. I just showed you the messages. It's you. What you mean? You see him now. You talking about it was a down payment? You see the video right here. You look guilty as hell.
I'm so confused. Okay, this man is alleging that he paid $17,000 paid in full for a BMW. Finance app says zero paid. And he's saying to stay away from this person who is a car dealer. Now, this is all alleged. This is just according to this man's video. How does something like this even happen? The car dealer seems like he doesn't understand if this is actually a down payment. Wait, is the car paid off? I got so many questions.
I'm not leaving out here until the police remove me from here.
Where's the proof?
You know I got the messages on Facebook, right? So you deleted it. Okay, 17K cash. Come in, let's see.
Come in, let's see. Okay, wait, hold up. Now, from what I can see here, it says, you take 17K cash, let me know. And underneath, I'm assuming that this is the car dealership saying, come in and let's see. So he came in and saw, allegedly paid 17K for this car. If he gave the 17K for the cash, isn't the car paid off? Let me see some more. But he got the receipts.
Let's see. Exactly. You never said it was a down payment or anything. All right, 17K cash. Why are you coming like this, bro?
Wait, okay. I think I know what happened. Did he hit you with the bait and switch? Oh, did he hit you with the bait and switch? He said, come in and let's see. But he never said, hey, the car is actually worth $17,000. Perhaps he was led on. Because clearly, let's be honest, y'all. This man is thinking because you said, come on, like, come here and let's see. If I bring the 17K, this is going to cover the car. But what's getting me is when he gave you the 17K, you knew what the 17K was about. Was his 17,000 taken with the assumption that he thought it was to pay off the full car? And you still took the 17K? I don't know. Allegedly.
Why you coming like this? I got a kid. Why you doing that? Even if it was, why you didn't tell me that? I have to go to Monday, brother. What you mean with your Monday? What you gonna do for me Monday that you did this for? I have the paperwork here. And what's work it out? Work it out.
Why you back on Monday? But you recorded it just a minute ago.
Bro, I just need
to
trust me.
I need to get out.
I'm not gonna send this video to nobody if you make this like.
Really think we can send the post on Facebook.
I know I can.
Whatever you want.
I paid 17,000 for that car, right?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. This ain't looking good. And then he said, look, I got kids. Why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this? They told this man to come back in on Monday about 17,000. Wow, you want me to come back in on Monday? You could have sent a text like, hey, this is what the 17,000 would go to. But the come in and let's see type of a thing is like, you leaving a lot to be interpreted, a lot in the air. I'm not really sure why somebody would do that when it comes to selling something, especially cars. But a lot of car salesmen, they're trying to just get you in the door. And I'm not saying that's what happened here. I'm not exactly sure. But that's what it looks like. It sounds like he just wanted to get you in the door, maybe to make that sale, because maybe he thought this person wanted that car bad enough. Then my whole thing is, where's the receipt? Where is the proof of what the 17,000 was for? And why do he need to come back on Monday to figure it out? I'm honestly not understanding the hostility with the other people in the room, because it's like, y'all would be tripping about $17,000 too for a car that you thought was about to be $17,000, but you thought. This man is probably feeling like somebody took advantage of him. Like, just to be honest, like, I'm just an outsider. Who am I? But that's what it seems like. And they're just standing there like, come in on Monday. Like, whatever. Like, and before we go any further, I need to know, based off of what we just seen, what would y'all do in this situation? Would you feel like they were trying to get one up on you? I don't know. This is a little suspicious, but I'm gonna go to the comments. Now, the person who posted this video is saying that this happened to a friend of theirs, and that the business allegedly stole $17,000 and claims it was for a down payment. The way that message reads, he might have meant a down payment, but I don't know if he ever articulated that to the customer who came in assuming, hey, the $17,000 is not going to cover the whole car. It's going to be for a quote unquote down payment. I don't know how detailed and honest the conversation was because we wasn't there, but it seems like there was some miscommunication. Now, says here in the comments, who put $17,000 down? That is a lot of money. But to be fair, the way that the message reads, it kind of sounds like he wasn't trying to put it down. He was saying it like, hey, I'm trying to cover the full car. Like, will you take $17K for the car? And the guy was like, well, come in and see. And somebody here is saying $17K ain't that much depending on the vehicle. LOL. Ask a car salesman, bro. And honestly, that's not the point. That's not the point right now. If you read the message, take it for what it is, face value. The guy is trying to simply get a car for $17,000. I don't know why y'all making it harder than it got to be. The car salesman left it up in the air whether he could do it or not. He told him to come in. He didn't say, yeah, you can do it, but he said, come in. And somebody here is saying the salesman actively committed fraud, now, allegedly, I don't know, by misrepresenting what the $17K was for. So yes, he stole that money from him because that was not the agreement they talked about. Honestly, I don't know what agreement they had. It doesn't sound like there was much agreed upon besides come in and let's see, and he came. Now, maybe there was some more behind the scenes stuff, but just from the text messages, that guy wanted that car for $17K. Stop the cap. Stop it. Stop. And they said that he could come in on Monday and they'll probably just give him his money back. For all we know, he could be planning to sue. This could be a lawsuit, like a lawsuit in the making. And somebody here says, if you paid in full, why would you sign a finance contract? That's a good point. Somebody else underneath is saying apparently he didn't sign a finance contract. He paid in cash, which is even more crazy. Like, what are you financing if the person has the money? And I don't want to hear, oh, they need to run your credit anyway. No, if I'm coming to you with cash in the car dealership, ain't no credit getting ran. You're going to take this cash and you're going to give me all the information for that car. That's all that needs to be done. And that would have just alleviated all of this because if I have the money and what I told you I wanted is to pay cash for the car, why are we doing any finance paperwork? In what world? If I'm paying off the full car, do you need me to run my credit? That don't even make sense. So I'm not sure why it happened. Maybe they did it, but don't you have to authorize that? Anyway, let's keep going. He paid in cash, but they put him in a finance plan showing $18,000 is due instead of $0. Now, if that was true, then that would mean that they essentially just took his money and just said, hey, you're going to pay this other $18,000 or $17,000 or whatever the finance plan was. Nobody's just handing over $17,000 to anybody. That doesn't make sense. He's trying to get the car for $17,000. And I hope he has some sort of receipt for all of this. This is crazy. Okay, so this is another message. It says, everything was disclosed and signed. $17K was applied exactly as the contract shows. APR/terms came from the lender, not us. Again, what is the lender for if you got the money? If I got the money in hand, no credit getting ran. What part ain't y'all getting about it? But since y'all already did it, let me take a look. Now, this was for a 2016 BMW 2 Series Coupe, and the amount that was financed is $18,384.30. And the loan matures on 8/11/2031. So this is a 72-month term. Y'all see this? This is crazy. 28.69% interest rate on a 2016 BMW. Oh. And the monthly payment is a whopping $543.64. Oh my. And you see what it says here, y'all? Zero paid principal. What does that mean? Essentially, they are saying he has made no payments towards this car. Now, the only thing that makes sense here is that perhaps, allegedly, I don't know what happened, but maybe it would make sense if the $17,000 he spoke to the man about went directly towards the car, and what we're seeing left here is what was financed. Because when you make a down payment, you don't have to finance the whole amount that previously you would have had to finance because you made a down payment, right? So you're asking the bank or the lender for less money. So stay with me, y'all, because this is about to get very interesting. If that $17,000 was in fact just a down payment for this 2016 BMW, that means that they were selling this car for around $35,000. Do y'all believe that? That they were selling the vehicle for $35,000, a 2016 BMW 2 Series Coupe. First off, BMWs aren't even a good car to have. Go fight with somebody else. If you want to fight, actually join the military. Y'all know how I feel. The maintenance is ridiculous. And then this is an older one, by the way. Other than optics and saying, oh, I got a BMW, what is the point? That don't even make sense to me that anybody would pay $35,000 for a BMW that's 2016. Well, maybe somebody would, but you just got to be like wilding for BMWs or something. I don't know. This is crazy. And we not just finna skim over this right here. Do y'all see that interest rate? 28.69%. What did I tell y'all about getting cars in the 20s? This is ridiculous, by the way. And I understand this situation is very sad for the person who has went through this. But I'm not just finna skip over the fact that there is a 28% interest rate sitting in front of me like, oh, we're not going to talk about that. That's extremely high. Likely dealing with someone who has subprime credit or an extremely low credit score, because this don't even make sense. Why would you ever even sign on the dotted line for a 28% unless you just have bad credit? It doesn't make sense. You know how long that's going to take you to pay off a car and how much interest you're going to pay? The bank loves people like this. Actually, let me just type it in the chat GPT. Now, according to chat GPT's math, and it could be wrong, but if you want to fight with chat GPT in the comments, you need to join the military now, or just do the math yourself. I'm utilizing my resources. It says here, at the end of a 72-month term, you would end up paying $39,000, $39,142.08 to be exact, for this 2016 BMW 2 Series Coupe. Oh my gosh. And I love to show this part because I know a lot of you just don't understand what all of this means. You're like, oh, they sold me a car for $18,000. What a steal. Well, there's something called paperwork that outlines in that 72 months what it really would look like. Hopefully it's detailed in there, but you might have to crunch the numbers yourself. But what that really comes out to as far as what you pay in interest is what I want y'all to pay attention to. It says here the total interest paid on this car would be a whopping $20,000, $20,757.78 to be exact. Now, why am I pointing that out? Didn't we just say that this car was being bought for $18,000? So you mean to tell me you could have bought two of this car cash if this person indeed does have to finance this, which I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's probably going to figure something out with the car dealer because clearly there was some sort of miscommunication. But let's just say he wasn't, because this could be a real life example about what a lot of y'all with really bad credit scores or really bad interest rates on your cars can look forward to. This is the reality. Paying for the car twice. Who wants to pay twice for a car? You know what you could do with that $20,000 over the course of 72 months? You know all the different things you could have invested into, even if it's not your thing. What would you rather do with $20,000 besides pay for the same car that's a 2016? It goes on to say, this means you're paying over double the original loan amount. That gotta hurt. And why does it say that this would happen, y'all? It says mostly due to the extremely high interest rate of 28.69%. Now, I need for y'all to realize and understand, this is what makes it hard to pay off the car. Y'all see it right in front of you. If you want to deny the math, you want to deny the truth. And I know what you're thinking. Symone, how can we avoid paying 28% on a vehicle? I'm glad you asked. You need to work on your credit score. Oh, you don't believe in getting your credit right? Might have a high APR. Oh, but I like to max out my credit card on stuff that I don't really need, and I like to make minimum payments and barely pay it off. Well, guess what? You're messing up your credit card utilization, probably further worsening your credit score. All of these things factor into your credit score and you getting the APR you really want, unless you about to just come out here and ball till you fall like this man was trying to do with 17 grand. A lot of people ain't got 17 grand, so you should care. Now, I don't know why this was financed. This is crazy to me. And y'all, I had to come back just to add this part in. We did not even factor in the $17,000 that was allegedly the down payment, right? So let's factor that into this equation. Now, we just did all this math and we figured out that this person would have ended up paying $39,142 over the course of this term loan because the interest is so high, but we didn't even add in the $17,000 that he allegedly used as a down payment. So that means if he were to stay in this car loan, which hopefully he's able to get out of it, not only would he have paid $39,142 for the loan payments, but he actually also would have given up the $17,000, which means he would have been $56,142 out of pocket for this car. And this is a 2016 BMW 2nd Series. And honestly, I thought about this and said, this is wild. How much is this car even worth in the first place? And I said to myself, we got to go to Kelley Blue Book. This is where it got interesting. All right, y'all. This is Kelley Blue Book. Now, a lot of y'all probably don't know what this is, and it's okay. Kelley Blue Book is essentially a place where you can figure out the worth of a vehicle. Think of it like a price guide for cars. It'll let you know what a car's worth is, whether you're buying, selling, or trading it in. Now, you may be asking, Symone, why is this important? Well, it essentially lets you know if you're getting ripped off. And I don't want nobody getting ripped off. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but I want you to put this in your financial toolbox just in case. So I pulled up the car in question, which is the 2016 BMW 2 Series, I'm assuming 2nd Series, and its depreciation, right? And I also wanted to let you know, it goes off of a whole bunch of different styles. I actually picked the one that had the highest value. the style that was worth the most amount of money. So keep that in mind. We are going off of the M235i X-Drive Coupe. And this is a 2-door. But as you can see now, in 2025, the resale value would be around $18,828, right? And the trade-in value would be around $18,131. Now, the man in the video said he was trying to get it for $17,000, which kind of checks out. Sounds like he was trying to get a small deal, shaving off $1,000, which kind of sounds reasonable, right? So it will be very interesting that a car dealer would sell this car for $30,000 when we can see here that the car is only worth $18,000 at max. So I would say if that man gave somebody a $17,000 down payment for this car specifically, after reading this Kelly Blue Book, I would have to ask, why? And perhaps there's more to the story, but this is all that we got for right now. So I need to know, what would you do in this situation? If it was me, I'm running for the hills. And I would never authorize my credit being ran if I got the cash, because what for? Maybe that's just me. But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.